there just needs to be like a better awareness of like how dangerous alcohol is in general.
Tonight we are hearing from students at WSU after the death of a fraternity member. Police believe it may be alcohol related, and students say this is just another reason that college culture needs to change. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome everyone. I'm Tom Sherry. KREM 2 Shayna Waldtower has been on campus talking to students, and they have some ideas to help prevent future alcohol-related accidents.
Yeah, thanks, Mark and Tom. I was told today that police reportedly do not have any reason to believe that this was related to a hazing case. But I did speak to many students here on campus. They say that this is not the first time that an alcohol-related incident has happened with the WSU student, and they say that they are now here just rallying for change against some of what's happened.
Just very somber, yeah.
This seems to be the mood of a lot of WSU students just about a day after hearing of the death of 19-year-old freshman Samuel Martinez. He was a member of the ATO fraternity.
I don't know, it's just like a nightmare. But
I thought it was terrible and a tragedy to have someone so young on this campus lose their life due to underage drinking.
Parties and drinking have long been assumed parts of college life, but now students say this culture needs to change. They say the school teaches orientation classes to new students about the dangers of alcohol abuse, but some say that this education still isn't enough.
I think that schools really need to hammer it home and like how serious it could be.
They say the school should require educational courses about alcohol maybe every semester and even have stricter rules about underage drinking that would include more dorm checks and campus police patrols.
I hope the effect it does have, that the university will kind of have a stricter rule on Greek life to make sure that these underage people aren't getting into these kind of things and putting themselves at risk.
Hopefully, just bringing awareness to what happened, because I think that's the biggest thing, is not keeping it quiet, making sure that people know and that his story is told so that this doesn't happen to other students here, because I mean, it would be terrible to have this continue to be a trend here.
Now, some of the students I talked to today said they had not even heard of what happened about Martinez's death, and they say that's exactly part of the problem, is that a lot of these messages just are not being spread effectively enough. I did reach out to the university to see if they have any upcoming plans as to how they will address this. We have not heard back from them just yet. Reporting in Pullman, I'm Shayna Waldtower, KREM 2 News.
Shayna, thank you very much. In the meantime, we are hearing from the family of Sam Martinez. They released a statement that reads, "We want you to know and remember some things about Sam, his amazing athleticism, the way he crinkled his eyes when he smiled, his sharp mind, his sense of humor, and his steadfast loyalty to his family and his friends."
The statement continues, "Sam was a beautiful spark of light, a comet that came through and went through our lives too quickly. We are overcome with grief, and we are so grateful for your prayers and well wishes through this unbearable loss."
And tonight we are also hearing from Martinez's former teacher. She says she has known him since the 2nd grade.
He wasn't the kind of kid that was a partier, drinking. He was just an all-around good kid.
The teacher says, as a mom, this should be a warning to parents everywhere. She says that if something like this can happen to Sam Martinez, it can happen to anyone.
In other news this evening, a protest is happening right now in Spokane Valley. It's being organized by a private individual, but the rally is being promoted by the Spokane NAACP.
So what's being called the Rally in the Valley Against Hate is in response to these 3 events. The organizer says that these incidents showed blatant racism and that they all happened in our community.
KREM 2's Tim Pham is live in Spokane Valley tonight. And Tim, you have learned about what promoted this protest.
Well, Mark and Tom, what I'm learning right now is that this is in response to a lot of different things that have happened over the last several months. I can tell you that both co-operators of Jules Helping Hands are here tonight, but this is in response to what happened to their home recently. Someone threw a rock with a note attached to it with a racist comment on it, but that wasn't the only thing that happened in our community in the past couple of months that kind of led to this protest to be organized by this person. They tell us that someone put white nationalist propaganda in some books at a local store, and a church was littered with neo-Nazi flyers. And again, Julie Garcia's home was vandalized, and they just say that they aren't going to tolerate any of this, and they want to stand out here near the Walgreens at Sullivan and Sprague to let people in Spokane Valley know that racism exists in this community and that it's something that they won't tolerate. So again, I spoke with a person who organized this protest, and she says she wants to send a clear message to spread love, not hate.
Just because you don't see racism doesn't mean it's not happening. It is very much happening in the Valley, and that it's absolutely not okay. So we need to stand up against it and let the white supremacists know they are not welcome here.
Well, the crowd has grown in the last hour or so. I would say there's probably about 20 or so people here. They tell me that this is a silent protest. They don't want any bullhorns or any noisemakers, and they just want people driving by on their commute home to know that this is happening in our community, and they want to stand in unity together to promote unity and love in this community. Live in Spokane Valley, I'm Tim Pham, KREM 2 News.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. The city of Spokane says the nonprofit that is supposed to run Spokane's only warming center still has to meet its requirements. They have until November 22nd to complete everything. Jules Helping Hands has submitted proof of insurance. The city, though, still needs to approve it.
So the remaining requirements are a policies and procedures plan and a plan to report how many people stay at the center or use its resources.
A city spokesperson says Jules Helping Hands is not ready to submit operating procedures.
Well, you have until November 30th to finish up all your fall yard cleanup. That's before the city of Spokane ends its collection for the winter. Yeah, those green curbside collections, those canisters right there, they run from March through November, so you can fill up those green bins with leaves, branches, even coffee grounds and more.
There you go. All right, Tom, talking about weather. More rain on the way this weekend. Today, mostly cloudy, but the rain, again, is coming.
Rain is coming, expected to arrive here on Friday. Come with me now, if you will, over here. Look at how dark it is out on Lake Coeur d'Alene. This is part of the boardwalk area, and you can see 39 degrees is the current temperature right now. Winds around the north-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Barometric pressure right now holding steady. Here's a look at your day planner forecast. Cloudy skies. We'll look for an overnight low of 31. Probably going to see some patchy fog set up. Then we'll look for a little bit of morning fog Thursday, then becoming mostly cloudy. We may see some glimpses of the sun. We'll look for a daytime high of 46. Of course, you know I always look forward to the weekend forecast. Saturday, I've got mostly cloudy mostly cloudy skies at 48. Could see a little bit of sun develop across the area as well on Sunday.
Tom, thank you very much. Seattle Children's closed all of its main operating rooms today after mold was found. The hospital expects the operating rooms to be closed for at least 5 days. That mold was found in 3 operating rooms and 2 procedural rooms.
Since 2018, 1 patient has died and 6 others have become sick because of it. Health authorities are also investigating an 8th potential case. Well, it was a historic day on Capitol Hill as the Democrat-led House held its first public impeachment inquiry against President Trump. We want to turn to Mark now, who's standing by with the top 3 takeaways from today's hearings. Mark.
That's right, Tom. Today's hearings went on for more than 5 hours. So here are the top 3 things you need to know. First, who are the key players? Second, what the witnesses said. And third, how Democrats, Republicans, and the president reacted to those testimonies. Starting with the top key players in today's hearings, there is Bill Taylor. He is the acting U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. And there's George Kent. He is the Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for European Affairs. And these 2 men testified today. Second takeaway, what the witnesses said. Bill Taylor told the committee it was his understanding that President Trump froze military assistance to Ukraine. He said that was to pressure the country's leader to launch politically motivated investigations. Taylor revealed new information about a phone call his staffer overheard between President Trump and EU Ambassador Gordon Sondland.
Following the call with President Trump, the member of my staff asked Ambassador Sondland what President Trump thought about Ukraine. Ambassador Sondland responded that President Trump cares more about the investigations of Biden.
The other witness, George Kent, testified about Rudy Giuliani's involvement. He is President Trump's personal attorney. Kent accused him of spreading lies about the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. He said that was to get her removed from the post. She's scheduled to testify on Friday. Third takeaway is what the Democrats, Republicans, and the president are saying. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff said the goal of the inquiry is to see if the president's actions amount to an abuse of power. But Republicans said it was a media smear campaign. They challenged Taylor's testimony, saying Ukraine never felt pressured.
Is this what Americans should now expect from their president? If this is not impeachable conduct, what is?
Your clear understanding was obviously wrong because it didn't happen. President Zelensky didn't announce he was going to investigate Burisma or the Bidens.
President Trump dismissed the proceedings today. He called the whole thing a sham.
I'm too busy to watch it. It's a witch hunt. It's a hoax.
Hearings are expected to eventually shift to the Judiciary Committee to consider actual articles of impeachment. Tom?
Well, the White House wants to start live streaming the border wall construction. According to the Washington Post, the goal is to show proof that the construction is happening. President Trump wants to have a portion of the wall up before the 2020 election, but this plan is facing some pushback. The Army Corps of Engineers and Customs and Border Protections don't want their techniques out there for everyone to see. And today is the last day for Democratic presidential candidates to qualify for the November election. So far, 10 candidates, including former Vice President Joe Biden, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and Senator Bernie Sanders, have all qualified. Now, in order to qualify for the debate, candidates need 165,000 unique donors, as well as high poll numbers in early nominating states or national surveys. That debate is happening in 1 week. It's being held in Atlanta, Georgia.